When her silence became her weapon. Breakup cheater. Hello everyone. Welcome back to Breakup Cheater. Tonight I have a story that's deeply personal, one that slowly taught me how silence can be the most dangerous form of manipulation. My name is Marcus, and this is how I learned the difference between love and control the hard way. You'd think toxic relationships are obvious, that they'd come with warning signs, flashing lights, or at the very least, some gut feeling screaming get out. But sometimes, the scariest part is how normal it can all seem. First, for me, the moment everything snapped into focus came late one night. We were lying in bed. The silence between us was already heavy, but then, she turned her back to me and whispered, "Don't touch me tonight." There was no fight before it. No argument. Just those cold, 5 words that hit harder than any scream ever could. That's when it finally clicked. This wasn't about space. This wasn't about boundaries. This was about power. And I realized I couldn't keep doing this. But before you understand what changed in me that night, you need to know how we got there. You need to understand how someone like me ends up giving everything to someone like her. Her name was Amber. And long before we were ever in a relationship, long before she even saw me that way, I had feelings for her. I know people throw that word around. Crush. But this wasn't some passing attraction. It was the kind of affection that lingers, that quietly grows while you watch someone from a distance, just hoping that maybe one day they'll look back. When we finally became friends, I treated it like a job I'd been dreaming about for years. I was consistent. I listened when she needed to vent. I showed up when no one else did. I brought her dinner when she was too stressed to cook. I made her laugh when she was one tear away from falling apart. And I watched her fall for men who treated her like she was disposable. Men who vanished without a word. Men who only called late at night or showed up when it was convenient for them. Every time one of them left her in pieces, I was there to help pick them up. And yes, it hurt. Watching her cry over guys who didn't deserve her, while I was in the background, quietly loving her from a distance. But I never rushed. I told myself, if I keep being there, one day she'll see me, one day she'll realize I've been the one all along. And eventually, she did. After another relationship ended, she looked at me with new eyes. Not just as her emotional support, but as someone she could love. And when we started dating, it felt like everything I had waited for was finally real. I wasn't bitter about the years she hadn't noticed me. In fact, I felt even more committed. Because I wasn't just dating someone, I was finally with her. The girl I had been hoping for, dreaming about. I made her happiness my mission. Every moment, every gesture, I cherished it. I didn't want to be perfect. I just wanted to be enough. And for a while it felt like I was. Until slowly, quietly, the cracks began to show. The first signs weren't obvious. They never are. At least, not when you're in it. You chalk it up to mood swings, stress, misunderstandings. But there was a pattern. Whenever I disagreed with her, even about small things, or didn't immediately give her what she wanted, her warmth would vanish. Just poof, gone. She'd go cold. Withhold affection. No cuddles. No kisses. Just silence. First I thought she was just hurt. So I did what any loving partner might do. I tried to fix it. I apologized, even if I didn't know what I had done wrong. I bought flowers. I cooked her favorite meals. I complimented her more. And when the coldness finally thawed and she smiled again, it felt like I had done the right thing. That I had restored balance. But what I didn't see back then was that I was being trained. Each time I worked harder to get her warmth back, I was reinforcing her power. I was teaching her that silence could control me. That affection was a reward I had to earn. I thought I was being a good boyfriend. In reality, I was being manipulated. And the most painful part, this behavior, this withdrawal, this emotional punishment, it didn't exist with the men before me. The ones who ghosted her, cheated, disrespected her. They didn't get the cold shoulder. She never froze them out. Because she knew they didn't care. But with me, the man who loved her, who showed up, who tried, that's when she chose to play games. I was the one who made her feel safe enough to manipulate. And instead of appreciating that, she exploited it. Stayed for 3 years. Eventually I proposed. He said yes. No hesitation. And I remember thinking, this is it. I've finally earned her love, A few days after the proposal, she made an offhand comment while scrolling on her phone. I don't want to keep paying rent when I'll be moving in with you anyway. Sounded practical, logical, so I agreed. She moved in. But she didn't bring contribution, just changes. My space slowly became hers. My posters disappeared. My furniture was rearranged. She filled our home with decorative throw pillows and scented candles. And every time I footed the bill, she stopped offering to help with groceries. Never chipped in for utilities. And whenever I brought up finances, she shut me down. You're the man. You should want to take care of me. She'd say it like it was romantic. But it felt like pressure disguised as praise. And if I pushed back, if I even suggested shared responsibility, she'd go silent again. That weaponized silence I knew too well. Still I let it go. Over and over. Until one random Wednesday everything unraveled. Came home early. My last meeting had been cancelled, and I figured I'd surprise her with dinner. I entered through the side door. Quieter than the front. I didn't want to wake the whole neighborhood with those creaky steps. As I walked down the hallway, I heard her voice. She was on speakerphone. Loud enough that I could hear every word. And what I heard changed everything. I always get what I want. If he says no, I just freeze him out. It works every time. Laughter from her friends. One said, girl, you're toxic. Amber. She didn't deny it. She laughed and said, no, I'm smart. Men are easy when you know how to use what they want. That moment broke something inside me. The silence, the coldness, the emotional distance. None of it had been reactions. It was strategy. Calculated. She had been training me like a pet. Rewarding obedience. Punishing resistance. And the worst part. She was proud of it. But I didn't storm in. I didn't confront her. I smiled that evening like I always did. Kissed her forehead. Asked about her day. But something in me had changed. The part of me that bent broke. And I knew right then, I wasn't going to play her game anymore. Not one more move. To be continued.